As the school year begins, we always start out with registration day. We have prepared this brief tutorial so you can understand your responsibilities. The freshmen and transfer students will have the bulk of the tasks. We are going to dig deeper into each of these tasks and outline your responsibilities. The bottom line is to get the students to change their password in all databases that they will be using throughout the school year to make them the same. Although our goal is to have one computer lab instructor leading the students through the process, it is essential that you also know what to do. It is common that students get hung up at different stages of the process, and you will need to be able to assist them. Thank you very much for assisting us with the login station. On registration day, our morning will begin with an overview training meeting in the respective library. Each instructor will have 6 to 8 students to help keep them on task. You will have access to all usernames and passwords that are on the website, and this will help you at a later step in the process. Also, if you really get hung up, please look around the room and look for anybody within IT, counseling, communications, or data. We are here to assist. As for our hallway guides, they will need to collect the number of students that will be going into each room, and as they're escorting them, they'll remind them that they will need their Apple ID, username, and password. If they don't have it, they should text their parents right now to get it. They also need to make sure they have their iPads with them for the day, and they need to be thinking of a new password. The freshmen will be changing their password in all of the various platforms, again, that they'll be accessing throughout the school year. As the students enter the room and sit down, the first thing they'll need to do is press the Control-Alt-Delete key to enter into the computer's network. From here, they will be changing their password. Notice the password does have some criteria. At this moment, all freshmen and transfer students have their password temporarily set to RJHS pound 1877. Once they have successfully changed that password, please have them open up the internet and go to the Regis Jesuit website. From there, they'll be logging in as a student, entering in their user ID and password, which again is temporarily set to RJHS pound 1877. Then once they press login, they will be welcomed to the website. They will be able to see their locker number and combo. Please have them make note of that if they haven't done so already. Then they'll need to continue on to change their password. To change their password, they will just need to enter their new one twice, click update, and then enter the old temporary one last time. Next, you will point out the links to Canvas. We will only need to ensure that their username and password work. Then they may close it. Students will only need to access RadarNet if they need a copy of their schedule. They will click on email to ensure a successful connection. So by clicking on email, it takes them to Office 365. Students will enter in their student Regis Jesuit email address and their new password. They will need to accept the terms, select the time zone to be able to successfully log in. They will close it and go back to the website and click on Naviance. They will need to choose either Naviance Boys Division or Naviance Girls Division, which will then launch the Naviance Family Connection. Here they will enter in their username, again, which is the prefix of their email address, as well as the password RJHS pound 1877. Once they have logged in the upper right hand corner and look for a button called Manage My Account, in which they'll be able to scroll down and change their password. Again, they should make this password the same as all the other platforms. Once they have successfully changed their password in Naviance, they will need to click on the Home button on the left and scroll down under Resources and look for X2Vol, which that stands for Time to Volunteer. Here, the students will need to create an account by entering in their last name and their Regis Jesuit email address. It will link them to their account in X2Vol, where they then need to finish registering their profile by adding their first name and their student email in step 1, and then selecting their birth date, their gender, the address that they enter in. We'd like for them to use the school address, and it should be placed up on the board for the kids, as well as the home number should be the school telephone number. Then in step 3, they'll just need to set up their password and select what group they're a part of, which is reflecting your graduation year. Then the students can click on Register My Profile Account to log off and close out of the website. Lastly, they will need to go to their start orb in the lower left-hand corner. They're almost done. Instead of shutting down, they actually need to log off the computer. Therefore, it's ready for the next student. As far as registration day goes for all the other upperclassmen, it's quite simple. The upperclassmen do not need to change any passwords, but instead we want to ensure that they have access to each database and that they remembered their password. So feel free to tell the students to come on into the room and sit down at a computer, as the instructions will be in front of them. If they do need any assistance, they should just get your attention, and then you should be able to help them from there. We will not have one teacher leading the entire class during the upperclassmen sections. As far as the upperclassmen, these are the areas in which they're needing to confirm that they do remember their password information. But again, we might want to point out that the locker information is there, just in case they need to make note of it in their iPad. This year we have several people returning who have done this before to help out in the login station. And just hopefully as a vote of confidence, you can see you too will survive. Thank you so much for your assistance.